from murders
That would be brain matter right there.
to break-ins.
It's obviously been a very violent attack.
You genuinely never know what you're going to walk into.
Major crime leaves a trail of devastation.
There's blood in the hallway, the tile, just blood everywhere.
On walls,
There's a lot of blood there.
in cars,
Someone's been attacked with a samurai on the passenger side.
soaking into carpets.
There's maggots all over this entire car.
Once the police have gathered the evidence, they call in the crime scene cleaners.
I haven't seen anything like this before.
Highly trained professionals in the UK and United States who clean up dangerous hazards,
The worst case scenario is the lithium and gasoline, they blow up.
keeping the public safe.
Tenant has booby-trapped the property with needles and syringes.
The cat could have fed on the corpse.
There's the body, Mark right there on the bed.
How did this happen? What happened? Was they attacked?
In this series,
Testing 1, 2, 3.
body cams take us beyond the police tape into the heart of the tragedy.
Ready?
He was so badly decomposed that I would not be able to recognise him, even if he was my brother.
While leading crime experts dissect each scene.
Crime scenes can actually be an insight into the perpetrator's behavior.
We get projected bloodstain patterns when we have a breach to the circulatory system.
And try to piece together what happened.
There's been a frenzied attack within that building.
It has sufficient malice aforethought to be considered murder.
In Buckinghamshire, 30-year-old crime scene cleaner Chantel Cameron is the owner of MK Critical Cleans.
When I tell people that I'm a crime scene cleaner, they generally get quite shocked. Most people look at me and like, you don't even look like a cleaner.
She's heading to the scene of a high-risk job with her assistant, Bex West.
Seen a decomp before? Today's job, unfortunately, the person didn't get found for several weeks. Don't know, I'm guessing a neighbour. The smell in the end and no activity.
A man's body has been discovered in mysterious circumstances in a small flat, nearly a month after he died. Having been given the keys to the property by the police, Chantel and her team must now clear it of all traces of bodily fluids and decomposed remains.
Unattended deaths can certainly be misleading. We never know the full story.
You've got to go into every crime scene with an open mind, and you've got to be thinking that this could be a murder. You cannot assume anything.
They don't know if it was a crime committed or not until they've got the coroner's report and the autopsy has been done. So in situations like this, you have to be extra vigilant because you are still working on a crime scene. We always get kitted up right before we enter a job.
Whenever they're cleaning up severe decomposition, Chantel and her team must wear full protective suits and face masks to avoid any contamination from dangerous airborne pathogens.
This job is extremely local to my house. In fact, my daughter's old school's just 1 minute up the road, so I walked past this property pretty much daily. And the gentleman, somebody that I also used to see at the local shops very often, so it's definitely touched my heart a lot more than some of the other jobs. Obviously, it's a very intimate job, and really and truly you should be going in with compassion.
Due to the extreme nature of this clear-up, Chantel has brought in 3 of her most experienced crime scene cleaners: Bex West, Tasha Kendall, and Cherie Hamilton.
The stench in here is really bad.
Having attended the scene, the police are now leading an active criminal investigation. The body has been taken to the coroner to ascertain the cause of death.
The smell was really strong. You can proper smell that decomp.
Make sure we open the window. Oh, you can see where he's decomps. Make sure he sees a hand on his body. It's really sad. day, the bodily fluids from your body just sort of drain out, which is why you get the outline of a person. They're still unsure what's happened, they're still under investigation.
This is a full remediation job. The flat must be cleared of all human remains and fully sanitised.
There's a lot of mess and clutter. It's just a general bad way of living.
There's a lot of letters and leaflets all over the floor. You can see that nobody's collected the mail in weeks and weeks.
And one of these letters may provide a vital clue to the man's death.
This is
A note from the neighbour to say there's been an attempt to break in my property last night. I just wanted to let you know, stay vigilant and not to open the door to anyone you are not expecting.
If you look to what is a potential break-in to somebody's premises, then you're thinking that the reason that person's died is connected to the forced entry.
If this was actually a murder, in my mind it's a burglary gone wrong. So somebody broke in, was disturbed by the owner, and may have ended their life. And I think if that's the case, it was probably quite impulsive. It was probably that they were desperate. They suddenly realised that they were going to get caught, kill this person on a whim, and then try to cover their tracks.
The deceased unfortunately also had an alcohol addiction, and so there is lots of vodka bottles in there.
This man is an alcoholic who has potentially passed away in his own flat, but it doesn't mean to say that there's been other people in there with him. You've got to keep an open mind and you've got to look at what all the possibilities are, and it is still a possibility that there's third party involvement and there's foul plays taking place.
Have a look in the bathroom.
This has got to be one of the worst bathrooms that I've seen in a very long time. The sink's covered in hair. That toilet is covered in faeces. There was also a cat left in the property, so there's quite a lot of faeces present around the premises. It is very bad. With 10 being the worst, I'd probably put this at about 9. So there is a lot of different biohazards in one place. This is a big job here. It's a task.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of the busiest crime scene cleaning companies is Extreme Cleaners, run by former detective Larry Douglas.
We have a knife, which will be used for a weapon.
Baton Rouge has at least a death, probably I think every third day or so, of some sort, violent in nature.
Just recently had a homicide where they used the hammer to bash his brains in.
A lot of jobs that we see is suicides, murders, definitely not your day-to-day job.
I got a call right now. Yep, go ahead.
So we're just doing regular warehouse stuff, and we get a call in, and it's from an elderly man. He says that he ran over a body.
I need to come have my car cleaned. It happened on the 190 bridge. Well, there was a body laying on the bridge, and I hit the body. I didn't see it.
There's been a murder in Baker, 10 miles north of Baton Rouge. The victim's body was dumped on a busy freeway bridge, with its hands bound together during yesterday's evening rush hour.
It's our old Mississippi River Bridge. It's the Huey P. Long Bridge.
It's a pretty big bridge. It goes all the way across the Mississippi River.
We just read the article on the news.
Yeah?
It's saying that the body was dumped on the bridge and vehicles just kept hitting it. So they said they are investigating as a homicide.
Initially, I'm sure the call would be a car-pedestrian collision. If the body is on the ground, it's not something a driver would generally notice, especially at nighttime. But as a vehicular crimes detective, we would stop the investigation, call out homicide, so they can investigate and work on it from there.
Unfortunately, I've seen this happen where a body is on the roadway, already dead, and it gets hit by another car. And not only do they get damaged and torn apart, but there have been cases where bodies have been dragged for quite some distance because they get stuck under cars.
Apparently he wasn't the only car either that ran over. There were several cars that ran over this gentleman.
Hey T, you know where some trash bags are?
Taking on this daunting assignment, a crime scene cleaning duo, Tanya Carwick and Ty Cotner.
On this job, I'm working with Ty. Ty's a real good worker. She hasn't been here too long. She's been here, I think, almost a year now.
Tanya is probably one of the hardest workers out here, without a doubt. She gets in there, she gets it done. She knows what she's doing. Me and Tanya, we roll over to the house and we're expecting the worst, We're expecting body parts under the car, for sure. The first thing we did was we laid down a tarp so everything that came off the car didn't just go onto the concrete.
All right, hold up right there. Stop for a second.
Line that one up. This one's lined up. I'm good.
I've never done one like this. I've never done a job underneath the car. Done them inside the car, inside of trucks, U-Hauls, another under. Whoa. Perfect.
Just from standing and looking at the car, there was some damage towards the back tire, but it didn't look bad at all. We weren't honestly expecting anything from just standing and looking at the car. Well, underneath it, that was a whole different story.
It's blood that I see.
You see blood for sure?
Yeah, body fluids.
He's covered in mould in there, it's really bad.
In Buckinghamshire, Chantel Cameron is leading her all-female crime scene cleaning team into a flat where a man died in mysterious circumstances.
You see a lot of tissue around that corner that has got blood on it. So there's lots of different biohazards present in this property. It's an unattended death, so you have the decomp where the person has passed away, sadly.
Decomposition fluid is basically made up of our own bodies breaking down. 48 hours after death, a build-up of gases causes a body to bloat and potentially rupture. Within 3 to 7 days, a process of liquefaction then begins.
The real risk to the crime scene cleaners here is that the body fluid can still contain pathogens which can cause them to become ill. In particular, there's a risk of them acquiring infections such as viral infections. So they still need to be very careful with dealing with this scene.
Speaking with the neighbours, he kept himself to himself, didn't really interact much with people. He's had his cat that lived with him. I think it's highly likely that the cat could have fed on the corpse.
We're going to put the candle on him here, guys, yeah? We're going to pop that near the TV near where he passed.
And we always get a remembrance candle, and we try and put that as close to as where the deceased died as possible. Plan of action. Right, what we need to do, we're clearing a walkway in the living room maybe, because we've got too many trip hazards in there and somebody's going to end up getting hurt.
This flat must now be completely cleared of any potentially contaminated bodily fluids.
Kitchen, bathroom. Yeah, 2 people in the bedroom. Choose to go in the bedroom, start picking up rubbish. Got the biotape, so any bag I can just biotape it, yeah.
The first challenge is to clear out all the rubbish and biohazard waste.
That's not personal, that's all rubbish. Yeah, if they're stained, Lou, you see any soiling on them, any blood or anything, then get rid of them. It's quite traumatic, losing a relative and then having to go through their belongings, go through their stuff. So we try to limit the impact as much as we can. Obviously, we can't stop it, but we do what we can to help and support the families. I actually come from not a great background. I grew up, I spent a lot of my years in and out of the system. My mum suffered severely with mental health problems, and I had an estranged relationship from my late father growing up. Being in the care system, I lived in a lot of children's homes and stuff like that. So I think my life, university of life, as you can say, is what's pushed me to want to help people. I'm going to put his letters in one of these shoe boxes. It's hard to fully clean and sanitise the area with this large amount of clutter that as here at the moment, but it's not the case of just ransacking bags. We've literally got to go through the belongings and work out what's rubbish, what's not. When you start going through, you do start to build a picture of what the person's like. For somebody to be left for quite as many weeks unattended, it's really sad, it's heartbreaking.
As the crime scene cleaners clear out the flat, some possible clues are revealed about the man's death. The man's body was found severely decomposed on the floor of the living room, with bottles of alcohol strewn all over the property.
Alcoholics don't always drink alone, that there could have been other people there and something could have happened.
there's a clear connection between high levels of alcohol consumption and alcoholism and crime. So people who drink high amounts can act quite impulsively. They could also be victims of crimes themselves. So it could just be that they're seen as an easy target.
These are all bottles on this side, 14 or 15 bags so far, 10 to 15 bottles per bag, so you've probably got an excess of 200 vodka bottles here.
This is the equivalent of 200 litres of vodka. Consuming just 1.5 litres in one sitting can kill an average-sized person.
If someone's drinking over a long period of time, their liver will start having problems. So that starts off with fatty liver disease, that progresses to an inflammatory disease called steatohepatitis, and if they continue with heavy drinking, then ultimately they develop cirrhosis.
They say they drown their sorrows, don't they? They use it to numb themselves. It's sad. Oh my god, this is good. Shall we please? I'm scared of spider. Right, once she's done that floor, what we're going to try and do, girls, is move the sofa so we can access this carpet.
Having cleared a pathway through the once cluttered living room, Chantel and her team can now get a better view of the area where the man's body was found.
We're going to sprinkle the biosafe granules over the decomposition area.
And if there is anything fluidy, it will again solidify it, so we're going to go and sprinkle some of this over.
These biohazard granules utilise a scientific principle known as capillary action. Like sponges, their tiny pores soak up liquids, allowing for a safer, more effective clean.
You can see these are all maggots, and so obviously we've got flies and the larvae, and these are all maggots here that have obviously come from the body itself.
You can clearly see that's where the deceased head has been. You can see clumps of hair and the blood and the tissue.
Is this his hair? I actually think that's his hair.
I see it.
You see some?
Yeah, right there.
In Baton Rouge, Louisiana, crime scene cleaners Tanya Carwick and Ty Cotner are about to start a complex and challenging job beneath a car.
It's dried, so I'm gonna let you look.
The owners of this vehicle called extreme cleaners after hitting the body of a murdered man who'd been dumped on a busy freeway bridge.
Once we got underneath the car, we see brains, we see skin.
Oh, it's right here, big time.
Big time?
Yeah. It's all right here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's hair right there.
And it was pretty bad.
There's a blood clot up here.
You might be surprised at how quickly a human body can be disassembled. If a vehicle runs over a soft human body, it's going to do a lot of damage. Obviously, you're going to have bones that start to break, but you can also start to have some evisceration. It really can get messy very quickly.
Oh, that looks like hair. Oh yeah, it's all over.
The main thing was the brains. There was a good bit of brains through the car. There's brain matter all underneath here.
Oh look, that looks like a piece of skull. Man, that's insane. Everything we saw was like skin, hair, blood clot, plasma. What's crazy is it was from front to back. I mean, I guess when you run over somebody or something, it's going to do that.
Oh yeah,
so that means it's going to be all up in here.
That's brain matter for sure.
The body hit by this car was abandoned on the freeway with its hands tied together, just a 15-minute drive away from the murder site.
Having a body found with their hands behind their back on a bridge is an indication to me right away that this is an impulse. This is something spur of the moment, trying to come up with a plan as you're going. When a person is dead, they're not going to help you. Moving 130 pounds, even if it's 5 foot long, is extremely difficult for one and even two people.
There's some right there, there's plasma there.
So if your limbs are tied together, it's almost certainly because somebody is trying to prevent them from getting away. It really reduces the person's ability to defend themselves and really increases the likelihood that they're going to suffer catastrophic injuries.
I think it's just what's underneath.
That's what it looks like. It looks like everything's underneath. Once we finally get underneath the car, we're just gonna get in and give it a good clean. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the suit on. The PPE that we were wearing for underneath that car was the full body suits. You know, I call them the marshmallow suits. And then we have our 2 sets of gloves. We make sure we have our hoods on so nothing gets in our hair, our skin, or our clothes.
Oh, you got the white mask?
Tanya and Ty must now get all the way underneath the car and remove every last trace of this corpse from the chassis, tyres, and bodywork.
We're going to use a degreaser and a disinfectant and spray it and wipe away the bulk of it and hopefully get it all off, and then we'll flush it out on the spots that we really can't see because we want to make sure that there's no bio left behind. My family does call me when they need something done. Like my daughter called me, asked me how to get blood out of her clothes, which is really simple. Really, really simple. If you use a disinfectant on it, but it takes cold water. You gotta have cold water. I've been working here for 5 years. I also used to work at a retail store, which I will never go back to retail. Before that, I was bartending, in which I don't want to do that anymore either. I just like my job here because I'm always watching crime shows. When I found this job, it was just like perfect. All right, so heads will be the front, tails will be the back.
All right, give me tails.
Tails.
So I got the back?
I got the front.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Let's do it. I'm gonna move so you can spray right there because you really need to spray right there.
So spray underneath it. It's our special spray. And we let it sit for, 3-4 minutes. We get our rags. I have to use the rags to get all the bio up first. You know, we don't want to get in there and just immediately start spraying it with our water hose. And then we spray brains into someone's yard. We don't want to do that.
Oh, Lord, we got brain matter. Oh.
Wait, don't spray me. Where? I want to see.
Right there, right where you at, right on that fender. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Look all the way down those big pieces.
I think that's the worst spot yet.
We see a lot of blood. Some people just won't be able to stomach it.
I know, right? That would be brain matter right there.
Your skull and your head overall is pressurized. So when it is subjected to that amount of force at significant speed, such as a vehicle running over it, it essentially can implode. Components of your head, including skull and brain matter, can essentially be projected and pushed out from the site of impact. That could cause it to go all over the roadway, on the shoulder of the roadway, or up underneath vehicles, as we see in this case.
Oh, gosh.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's a big piece.
Poor soul. I mean, that's somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's brother, uncle. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just sad to see that somebody actually went through so much trauma like that. It is very sad. So this needs to go into the bio.
Yeah. We try to disassociate ourselves from it. We try to make it seem like it's not what it is, I guess you can say. Both my parents are in law enforcement. My dad is a retired cop. My mom worked in a men's prison for 15 years. From when I was 7, 8, she would have come home and say the pretty, I say cool stuff. It's not cool, but I like to hear about it. So I just grew up around it, this type of stuff.
So now I gotta wipe that clean and make sure it's all gone. We take our time. We make sure we see and get everything. That looks like skin.
I'm glad you got these Q-tips, though, T.
Girl, I'm telling you. We do have these long Q-tips that we use for certain things. If we can't reach them, the Q-tip, we take it, we put chemicals on it, and then we will be able to get to where we gotta get.
So you're under a giant car with a Q-tip this big, just trying to make sure you get all the remains and everything out from underneath the car.
I found another piece of brain.
That's brain.
You have to make sure we get into all the creases and the crevices underneath the car because honestly, the remains will start smelling as well. So we want to make sure that there's not going to be any future problems for the car owners.
Ooh, girl, there's more here. There's no telling how much more we'll find.
Pretty much done with the bottom half.
In Louisiana, crime scene cleaners Tanya Carwick and Ty Cotner are delicately removing body parts from underneath a car after its driver hit an abandoned homicide victim on a busy freeway.
It's skin? No, it doesn't surprise me.
Human skin.
that we just pulled off of the muffler from under the car.
I'm still just blown away with what we saw. It's sad. It's really sad. So I'm gonna throw that in the bio.
A police investigation has revealed that this 41-year-old murder victim was shot by his partner's son outside her apartment. After attempting to clean up the crime scene, he then drove to the freeway bridge and abandoned his body there.
There's going to be a homicide charge on this. They can charge with unlawful disposal of a human body, tampering with evidence, hindering an investigation. So there is a large number of crimes that could be charged depending on the culpability of each individual person.
In forensics, there's the primary crime scene, which is the crime scene where the event occurred. So where did the shooting actually happen? The bridge and the vehicle, those are all secondary crime scenes. But the bulk of the evidence is going to be at the primary scene.
All right. My neck gonna be hurting after this.
Yeah, my neck's gonna hurt after this job.
Oh, yeah.
That means Larry owes us a free massage.
The toughest part of this job is having to be under that car and my neck being up and trying to make sure I see everything. You know, you can't lay down all the way.
So there's another piece of brain matter right there. That poor guy.
The elderly couple that hit the man, they've never experienced anything like this in their life. And at first they thought they were the ones who killed the man. So they were very, very shooken up.
They were driving, they struck a person in the roadway. They didn't realize if they were at fault. So immediately you have the survivor guilt. Both of them, I'm sure, are going through the, oh my God, what did we do? How are we going to handle this? So this is an ongoing psychological trauma for them. They are victims, without a doubt.
Ty, can you see anything on this side? Did I get it all right there?
I don't see anything.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
After nearly 2 hours of back-breaking work, Tanya and Ty have finally cleared the underneath of the car of human remains.
We want to just double check and make sure everything's off of it. My side's good.
It's just getting the job done, making the client happy, getting it clean, getting the bio out, and going home.
With the full bio clean of the car's chassis complete, all that remains is to give the vehicle a final hose down.
We finished the car, it's all nice and clean, and the car owners were happy.
I think we did a great job. We did quick, we got in here, got it out, and as I would say, we got in, we kicked ass, and we did good.
The main thing was just to make sure this elderly couple didn't have to worry about anything else after we left.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's where his head would have been then.
So his head was there and his legs were sort of over here.
In Buckinghamshire, Chantel Cameron and her team are cleaning up a flat where a man died in unknown circumstances, surrounded by hundreds of vodka bottles.
Quickly get the duster and get onto that corner there quickly.
With the majority of his belongings now removed from the living room, they can finally investigate the spot where his body lay undiscovered for weeks.
So his hair was probably thinning anyway because he drank a lot of alcohol, so it would have most likely come off. I'm guessing that he's hit his head, by the way, where his head is, and you've got the blood here.
You must examine the body thoroughly, unless, of course, it's something obvious and he's been hit over the head with a hammer. You can't just say, oh, that's an head injury, so he must have fallen over. There might be a third party involved, so you've still got to keep that open mind.
Obviously there is maggots all over the place, but you can see more of them are predominantly up the top side, and they would have been coming from the wound. The flies lay eggs in them, and then the maggots come out. You see the eggs on the actual remote. Eggs.
So when you have maggots at a scene, that will speed up the decomposition rate. Now I can see that there's fly larvae activity and that there are pupal cases. So this is where the maggots have reached maturity and then started to develop into flies. With those being present, that would indicate the body has been there for at least 2 weeks.
So with the carpet, what we need to do is we need to clear the area around so we can access the area of the carpet properly. We try not to stand over it and into it and try and clear out as many of his belongings as we can. And once we've managed to clear out as much of that as we can, we're going to cut around the carpet and the underlay. You can't remove every biohazard without cleaning all the surface, so we do a thorough job in, out, up, down, back to front of everything. With jobs like this, you can't cut corners. If you cut corners, it's dangerous and you're risking your own life and you're risking other people's.
While the team focus on clearing the area around the large patch of bodily fluids, Chantel finishes up the clean in the kitchen.
We're also going to take the kitchen floor out that has got faeces. Luckily, it is just an off-cut of carpet, so it's easier for us to get rid of than some of the situations that we have. It needs to be marked as a biohazard waste. I believe that this is from his cat. I believe that it's animal faeces, but there's quite a lot of it on here. Oh my God, there's another spider. I need a bit of help. Tasha, there's a big massive spider in this carpet. I need your help.
After 7 hours, the area where the man died is at last fully accessible. So the team can now focus on removing the section of carpet left heavily stained by his bodily fluids.
Instead of taking out the whole carpet and putting that into incineration, we literally just cut out the area where the body has decomposed or where the biohazard is, and then that will be sent into biohazard waste for incineration. If it's floorboards, sometimes you find that the decomposition does soak into the floorboards and you have to cut the floorboards out. One of the things you're really not going to know until we've actually lifted it up and accessed the underneath of it.
Oh my God.
Look, you can see there where he's...
Oh my God, look at his little heart. Look at his head.
That's going to have to be cut further. I can see the blood still going under more. Lifting up the carpet, you can really see the severity here of the decomp. The carpet just has the initial layer, and when it's soaked through, you can literally see it looks like it's getting wider and wider. That's the blood and the bodily fluids from the victim. Now we've got to cut out and pull up the underlay. We've got to work out whether it's floorboards or concrete. If it's floorboards, then we're going to have to cut out the floorboards, look to get them replaced. And you may even see once we get the underlay up that there's more on there.
Downtown Phoenix, 3 cars have collided on an intersection of the main road. One of the drivers has been rushed to a local trauma centre with life-threatening injuries. The police are working to clear the crash site and are calling in family-run crime scene cleaners, Tact 48.
Oh, this looks like a bad accident.
At just 25 years old, Libby Burchett is one of Tact 48's younger crime scene cleaners.
Are you able to go and clean that for us?
Yep.
And tonight, she's on call.
Do you know how bad it is?
It's supposed to be really bad.
Okay, bye.
Crime happens 24/7. Even if you're sleeping at 3 a.m., get a call. Gotta go clean it.
Sounds like this is gonna be a really bad one. Hopefully, no one's super injured. I just never know how big or how small the accident's gonna be, so it's just important that I have all my chemicals.
It's definitely hard being on call. My friends and family all know I'll have to maybe reschedule with them if I get a call.
20 minutes after leaving base, Libby arrives at the crash site.
Well, it seems like a pretty busy intersection. I gotta hurry up and get this cleaned up, get this scene all secured and safe.
No.
Hello, it's pretty much right there.
Okay, perfect. When I pulled up to the scene, it looks really bad. There's multiple cars involved. 2 of them are really shattered and scrunched up. One driver was badly injured. I would assume that maybe it was just distracted driving and maybe it was just a freak accident.
So he was turning left. That car hit him.
That's horrible.
The 3 deadliest intersections in America are all located within Phoenix's city limits.
There could be a lot of different things in a vehicular crime that most people don't consider. In Arizona, we do have a crime where if you make a left-hand turn at an intersection in front of an oncoming vehicle and a person dies, you can be charged with vehicular death.
What about all the other drivers?
Nobody else was injured. They all just kind of walked away. They didn't have seatbelt on. That's the problem.
If a head-on collision occurred, even at extreme speeds, seatbelts will keep you in place and will save lives. If you don't have that seatbelt and there's no airbags, there is a high possibility you're being ejected.
Essentially, we're going to need those for other use.
In 2024, nearly 45,000 people died in preventable traffic crashes in the United States. Almost 50% of these were not wearing a seatbelt.
You can be wearing a seatbelt and have so much overwhelming trauma that you die from a motor vehicle crash. It's possible. However, even though it's not 100% foolproof, by not wearing it, you're more likely to have issues than you are by wearing it.
As the road traffic units work on removing the badly damaged cars, Libby heads in to assess how much blood and bodily fluids she'll have to clear up from the road.
It's definitely hard to walk into something you really don't know anything about. That can be hard mentally. Is that also fluid?
Oh, that's fluid. That's fluid. Yeah,
When we go out to serious injury collisions, we need to find, is there a cause? Is there civil and criminal liability? Was there impaired driving? Was there extreme speed? Was there reckless driving? Was there a road rage? Was there something else going on? You always need to rule everything out. We have to follow the evidence. The evidence is what tells us what actually occurred.
This job just looks really bad.
You can see now you've lifted it up, it looks a lot worse than what it did.
In a small flat in Buckinghamshire, crime scene cleaner Chantel Cameron's team is in the final stages of decontamination after a body was discovered.
3, 2, 1, go. Because of the size of the carpet, we're going to have to use a skip bag for this one, and then we're going to send this off to incineration.
They've removed the carpet where the dead man had lain decomposing for nearly a month, only to find that his blood and bodily fluids have soaked all the way through to the underlay and beyond.
We've got to certain whether it's floorboards or concrete. Luckily, it's concrete. We need to sanitise that and seal it off with a stain blocker. We literally wash it down with an antibacterial soapy water and the area is sealed off. We use a spray sealant and that seals and blocks any stains from coming through.
Having now fully sanitised the area of bodily fluids, an oil-based polyurethane stain blocker will prevent the contamination of any new flooring. While Chantel starts to apply the spray sealant, her colleagues Bex and Tasha prepare to take on the bathroom.
We'll tackle this side, we'll do our best. Yeah, I'd say that's good. I'd say that's trim.
The bathroom is in a very heavy condition with the dirt. There's a couple of different biohazards present from faeces, mould and cat excrement.
The taps don't work. So I'm going to make the start on the walls. Yeah. It's a lot scrubbing on it.
Bex and Tasha are going to do a full mould remediation of the bathroom and a deep clean. We are scrubbing, scraping, scouring.
A lot of side scrubbing now. That's years of dirt.
Finally, Chantel and her team of 3 are nearing the end of this physically and emotionally taxing crime scene clean.
When you finish the job, that's when you get the satisfaction, because when you're in the job, it does feel like it is never ending. You're constantly doing the same thing, repeating yourself, going back on yourself. But once it's all done, you'll see it yourself and you'll think, bloody hell, that has a big, big difference.
And as the team pack up the vans, Chantel makes one last sweep of the property.
So we finally finished the clean. I think it's just over 60 man-hours of work we've completed in here. The whole property has been decontaminated and refreshed. The place is pretty much unrecognisable from the smell to the look. I'm really happy with what myself and the team have completed. We've all worked super hard, and yeah, that's a job well done. And the fact that it's close to home, I also want to make sure that it's had my touch of love.
Yeah, I've been busy this week. This is my 5th call in like 3 days. So, Timmy's got me busy. You guys got me busy.
In Phoenix, Arizona, crime scene cleaner Libby Burchett is clearing up the aftermath of a 3-car collision. One of the drivers, a young man, has been hospitalized with life-threatening injuries.
One driver was badly injured. They did pull out that driver from the car and tried to do life-saving measures on the roadway and ultimately leaving, a pile of blood. So you guys have to go through and pick up this, or does the tow? And then you guys can open the road.
This busy intersection has been closed by the police until it's clear of all blood and biohazards. So Libby is now working against the clock to clean up.
It is essential to clean up blood from a roadway because it is a well-traveled area. Vehicle tires are running over the blood. That vehicle is then going to their workplace, to their home, on their driveway where their kids might play. They might walk barefoot, and it's a transfer of biological material, which includes a transfer of dangerous pathogens.
I am spraying our chemical A, which it's a live enzyme, so it goes in and breaks up the hard-to-get stains and brings it to the surface.
Libby's enzyme spray works by reacting with the compounds in blood to lift it off the asphalt. But this is an unusually thick blood spill.
The driver's probably not going to make it.
Severed both carotids.
Oh, goodness.
The carotid artery is located in the neck, on either side of the windpipe, and supplies oxygenated blood to the brain.
Your brain is the most sensitive organ of the body to a reduction in blood flow. So when both carotid arteries are severed, it is going to result in excessive blood loss and death, but it also can cut off the blood supply to your brain. So if you were to survive, you likely would be left with significant brain trauma.
Mom and Dad's with him, so...
The person was in the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and that made me feel a little bit uneasy, knowing that that person at that time, while I was cleaning, was probably suffering in the hospital.
The carotid artery pumps at extremely high pressure, so when severed, a bleed out can occur within minutes. And with the average person having 10 pints of blood circulating around their body at rest, Libby now has a serious cleanup on her hands.
Whenever I'm trying to clean up blood, to me, it's not like I'm cleaning up blood. It's just another mess I made. Say you're at home and you spilled some water and you're cleaning it up. That's kind of how I see it.
Aware that the authorities need to get traffic moving through this intersection as a matter of urgency, Libby presses on with her bodily fluid cleanup routine.
I have already sprayed A, I've agitated, and I'm spraying B, which disinfects and cleans the street. Almost done. Sorry, thank you for holding the light for me.
With her cleaning solutions having now removed and fully sanitized the area of blood spill. 1.5 hours after arriving on scene, Libby completes the job.
It'll dry. You won't even know. Thank you.
And nearly 6 hours after the accident itself, This main road can now be reopened to traffic.
That was a long clean. I'm tired. I actually got my master's in forensic psychology. I wanted to be like a crime scene investigator, but I wanted to see if I had the stomach for it, and clearly I do.